Isn't it ironic that I didn't record any of this video the first time I filmed it? Oh, well, that was not in my definition of success today. Welcome, Mama. My name is Sam. I am a dedicated Matrescence educator, a passionate advocate of motherhood, and a mom just like you. On this channel, we dive deep into the world of matrescence and explore all of the incredible, yet often very challenging transitions of motherhood. I believe that you deserve to enjoy this. I believe that you deserve to be seen. And most importantly, I believe that you deserve to find yourself through motherhood instead of losing yourself to it. So please hit that subscribe button and let's jump into today's topic of redefining success in motherhood. I'm going to be honest, this video is probably going to end up more like a ramble and maybe not the most cohesive thing, but I hope that it is still very helpful. As I was putting this together, I was like, man, this is really hard to cover in one short video, so this will definitely be expanded on in other videos, and we'll talk a lot more about like mom brain and mom mind that we'll touch on here, but for now, we're going to just dive into this. And starting off, I think we need to understand why we have to redefine success by looking at how vast the changes are between our life before becoming a mom and after becoming a mom. I'm going to use myself as an example because it's what I know best, and because honestly, I was a freelance work from home employee before, so my schedule was pretty flexible. So the change was very drastic from before and after becoming a mom. So I made this on Instagram. This is the timeline of my day before and after having my son. And as you can see, there's a lot more added on this list. Not only did my responsibilities and my demands increase, but a lot of the things that were on my list before are no longer in my day anymore. I had more to do and less time to do it in. And to make this less specific, let's talk about just the increased mental load of motherhood. And I'm actually going to have a worksheet linked down below that you can download to do this yourself. We'll talk about that more at the end. Here are the things that I regularly thought about before becoming a mom. Things like my marriage, my relationship, things we were going to do together. Work to-dos like client check-ins, client consultations, content, newsletters, any other programming I had to do, as well as all of the other meetings and things associated with my work. Household to-dos like laundry, cleaning, dishes, yard work, bills, goals, my fitness, social events, keeping up and keeping in contact with family and friends, self-care, self-hygiene, travel, grocery shopping, and hobbies like dancing and singing for me. After becoming a mom, I still had all of those things in my mental to-do list. I still thought about these things regularly, even though some of them weren't able to happen as much. And I'll highlight the ones here that were the non-negotiables, and you'll notice the things that fell away were all things that were primarily self-serving in a way, that I would say are necessary, but just so happen to fall away when other priorities enter in. Then let's add all of the baby thoughts, all of the things that take up space in our mind after having a baby. Things like wake windows, feeding schedules, feeding struggles, pumping, washing bottle parts, baby care like nails and baths and diapers, bonding time with baby, worrying, am I doing enough with baby? Am I bonding enough with baby? Doctor's appointments, spit up, tummy time, being nap trapped, short naps, no naps. Making sure you're still staying in contact with family and friends and sending videos and sending pictures, family visits, the developmental milestones, leaps or regressions, transitions. When do I transition? How do I transition to X, Y, and Z? Thoughts about, is this normal? Which leads to a lot of Googling. Mom groups, play dates, consoling baby, night wakings, establishing routines. Just everything takes longer. Like the mental work that goes into leaving the house or doing a simple task just takes longer because you have to consider someone else and consider what you need to do and yourself. Add to that, you're recovering from trauma. You're probably not sleeping well. You're probably not eating well. You're probably not taking care of yourself as well as you would like to or as well as you were used to. Your hormones are out of whack and everything is new. That is a shift. Again, we'll talk more about this mental load, which we call the mother mind or mom brain, in a later video. But for now, let's talk about the repercussions of not shifting our expectations of ourselves and our definition of success when we experience this big of a shift. As you can see, you have so much more to think about, so much more to do in this season. To expect ourselves to put the same time and intention into the things we once did is just not realistic. Not only that, but for a lot of us, our priorities and values shift almost overnight when we go through that transition. All of the things we once wanted to do or had to do are no longer as important to us as they were before. I will say one caveat here: for some people, those priorities do not shift, and their motherhood priorities are not their main priority, which is okay. And that means they may have an easier time with this transition. But no matter what, you are still going to have more in your mental load and on your to-do list than you did before. For many of us, this is just a winter phase where all the things we cared about before, maybe not all, but a lot of the things we cared about before, we don't care about as much anymore. We don't know who we are anymore because what we used to value isn't realistic or present in our lives anymore. I think the problem is that many of us are focused more on the what we have to do in our daily work instead of the why before and after becoming a mom. It's really hard to change your definition of success if you don't know what it was in the first place. For me, when I look at my old agenda, when I look at my old to-do list and all the things I cared about, I can say that my priorities and my values were achievement, success, feeling successful, and work, and my family. If you're like me and you share those same values, motherhood is going to feel like you're a failure a lot. That old definition of productivity and achievement does not hold up in motherhood because so many of the things that we're doing, we have to do again. Achievement: I changed my baby's diaper. Check. Oh, guess what? I got to do that again in 2 minutes when he poops again. Finish the laundry. Check. Oh, now I have a whole new heap because my baby spits up so much because he has a tongue tie. Yes, he slept through the night. I think we have this figured out. And then the next night, it's a disaster. Didn't sleep through the night. Guess we don't have this figured out. Uncheck. And not only that, I can't fit all of the things I used to do into my new life with doing all of the things that I want to do now or need to do now. And lastly, I don't care about some of those things. Some of those things I cared about so much and gave me that sense of achievement and success, I don't care about anymore, which if I don't care about those things, then who the hell am I? I think a really great example of this is I used to be a fitness coach. I used to be a fitness competitor. Fitness was a huge part of my life. I would diet a lot and I would work on my physique and building muscle mass and losing body fat and all of those things. It was really important to me and it gave me a really big sense of achievement and accomplishment. Postpartum, I still care about those things, but they don't give me that same feeling of success and achievement. It's more like a means to an end. Like I want to stay healthy for myself, for my kid. I want to look good and feel confident. And in order to do that, I know I need to continue to lift and eat well and take care of myself, but it's not like my sense of self and my sense of accomplishment comes from just doing those things. Yes, I still feel a sense of accomplishment after I do a workout, especially when I didn't want to do, but it's not like check off for the day, I have achieved what I set out to achieve. Not saying that can't be that for you, it's just not that for me anymore. This is a great example of still caring about that thing, but it not giving you that same degree of success or achievement that it did before. And if we keep placing our focus in those areas where we once got success or we once felt successful, we once felt a sense of achievement, and we keep putting our energy there, but if we don't care about it or we don't have time for it, one of two things is going to happen. One, you probably won't even achieve that thing because the motivation isn't there, the inspiration and the why isn't there, or the things that you do care about, the things you do prioritize now, will inevitably take precedence over that thing that you wanted to do. Or two, you will achieve in that area, but you're not going to get that same feeling of success and achievement that you got before because you don't care about it anymore, because it's not aligned with your values and you did it for the wrong reasons. And you may have even sacrificed what you really care about, what you really value, in order to accomplish that thing that you don't necessarily care about anymore or care about as much anymore. In order to feel a sense of achievement through what we're doing, we have to have that alignment between our goals and our values. Another example of this for me is my business. I love my business. I love what I do. I care so deeply about all of this, but I care about my son more and I care about spending time with him more in this season of life. And so he only goes to daycare 3 days a week. And on those 3 days, my definition of success is getting what I need to get done, doing it well, and being very specific about what success looks like on those days. And on the days that he's home, success looks like more like being present with him and going outside and doing new things and having really deep moments of connection. If you don't know, I actually created a planner for this for myself. I wanted a place where I could keep my motherhood memories and I could set my intentions for the day and really set the tone for the day and plan out and design my day with that definition of what success was going to look like for me. So in my planner, we have a success list, and these are the things that I want to get done today in order to say that today was a success. Also in my Mom Era program, we talk a lot about redefining success and reestablishing your values in motherhood. And so you can find both of those things at welcome-mama.com. I have some sample pages of my planner there, and you can also sign up for the waitlist, for the planner, and for the Mom Era course. For now, here are 4 things you can do to redefine your success in this season of life. First, just breathe and give yourself some grace. Look at that list that I have up there and give yourself some slack, because that is a lot to add to your plate, and that is a lot of change in a very short amount of time in very challenging circumstances. Number 2, use that printout and write down your mental demands or your to-do list before and after motherhood, and get that really clear visualization of how things have changed for you. Number 3 is a look at that list of your old to-dos and circle the things that were the most important to you and why. This is going to give you a clue at what your values were in that season of life. So if you circle work, maybe one of your values was work success. If you circle fitness, one of your values was self-care or fitness. Then step 4 is to do that same thing with your life now. Circle the things that matter to you most and why, and get clear about what those values are. Then compare the two. Maybe you have a lot of overlap. Maybe you have some things in your old life that aren't on your value list now, but you would like to be there. So how can we add those things back into your life, even if it's not the same way or same capacity as before? In what ways can we add that back into your life? Or are there things that were on your list before that aren't there now, that you're still expecting to be there, that you need to let go of, that you actually don't care about as much as you once did? You can list those values and even go as far as making a new mission statement for your life. Again, we go through this process much more in depth, much more holistically in my Mom Era program. But I hope that this helps you feel a little bit better about why success might feel hard and why those things that once gave you a sense of achievement aren't really doing it for you anymore. And hopefully by seeing this list and getting clear about your values, you can get some of that sense of achievement back. And that is it for today's video. For all of the resources that I referenced in this video, you can go to welcome-mama.com for the planner, for my Mom Era program, for any of those printouts, as well as blogs and my social medias. They are there. As always, thank you so much for being here, and welcome, Mama. You deserve to enjoy this. If that didn't record, I quit everything. Okay.